Hello, this is Sahi Darsini. I have secured All India Rank 112 in CSE 2023. Today in this class, we are going to discuss about ethics case studies approaches. In general, while you see what are we going, I'll give an overview of what we are going to discuss. In general, first we'll start discussing about like what exactly how we should approach our case studies and like how do we structure it and what is the time management with respect to case studies. After that, we'll try to understand what is the demand of UPSC these days with respect to case studies. Earlier it used to give a lot of options, and then like how is the trend changing. In that way we'll discuss what is the demand basically in terms of ethical dilemmas, course of actions, and the justifications and all that which are being asked, that given. And then we'll also try to find out certain frameworks in which we can classify our case studies and write down or pre-learn them in a way, so that we'll be ensure that we'll be able to complete the case studies on time and also avoid any kind of repetition which which generally occurs with respect to while writing case studies. And roughly the themes which we are going to discuss, the previous year questions of case studies, are following rules versus compassion, acting compassionately, and obedience of hierarchy, or the senior authorities orders, obedience versus moral duty, following, or cases of whistleblowing, and development versus social cost. We'll also have private sector ethics and applied ethics. We'll discuss one case study on discrimination based on caste. So roughly all these will be the ones which we'll be discussing in this video. Let us start off with a public service theme question. This theme especially is like you have a 2016 question. You have a 2016 question on this, and you have also a 2018 question. So the first one, let's solve the 2016 question. What is the question about overall? It's like there is certain eligibility criteria for somebody, for an old woman who has to use a scheme, but then she is not meeting all the criteria. So will you act with like compassion, or will you just be strict with respect to the rules? So first, this case study gives a clear, is a classic case wherein there is a wherein either one has to follow rules or act with compassion. It's a dilemma between following rules versus acting with compassion. So basically you're using this theme itself to write your introduction, or you can do another thing. This ethical dilemma here, where this is regulatory compliance versus compassionate governance. What is compassionate governance? It's nothing but like acting with compassion. What is regulatory compliance? Is nothing but following rules. So you can write down an introduction which says this case study is a classic case of example of dilemma between regulatory compliance and compassionate governance. As a officer in charge, then you can go ahead with whatever you want to give the solution as. You can also, like certain times in certain questions, you will see ahead, there are ethical issues or ethical dilemmas asked directly in the question. Like what are the ethical issues found here? What are the dilemmas? So for that, in general, see, now you have seen the stakeholders. Now ethical issues are mostly these only. Like regulatory compliance is rules versus compassionate governance. So here you can write down an explanation to this is what you can write down. Had you been asked what are the ethical issues or some question like that, so under that ethical issues question, you could probably write regulatory compliance versus compassionate governance, and under this you can explain writing the denial of scheme benefits to the old woman just because she is not having the eligibility documents. So that is one.
I would like to express my thanks and gratitude to Kalam IAS Academy and value addition materials for ethics and essay. They helped me a lot in my mains preparation. In fact, one day before the mains preparation, I was reading those PDFs, and I even made certain short notes out of those PDFs, which I tried to write in the actual exam.